The first thing I found from just doing a rough edit is there's a shot that I've forgotten. So, for the context, the main character's outside on the other side of the window. Just texted this character, and he goes to look out the window. And in my shot list and script, it goes straight from here to him walking out the door. But I want to get one shot of his point of view looking down at the main character, which is easy to do as it's at my house and I don't need filming permission from the council. So I could get that shot whenever, but I'm happy that I'm editing it now as I'm able to find these little mistakes and I'll be able to fix them earlier rather than later. So with the editing, the way I'm going to go through it is I'm going to get all the rushes for the different scenes. So say, scene 1, this isn't scene 1, but I'm going to get all of the rushes, put them together, and then I'm going to go through it like that and get the useful ones and the ones that can be used. And just put it into a really rough cut, maybe having 2 or 3 takes, however many there are, in order. And I'm going to do that for the different scenes. So there's another one there. With that one has 3 different takes, I believe. And I'm just going to work my way through it and slowly refine it. No, that's the montage. We got a good 10 minutes of footage from that one bit. But yeah, I want to see what I've got to work with, and I'm going to slowly thin it down until we get a rough cut. And the way I have arranged the rushes is I've got a rushes folder, and I've just named them FMP rushes day 1, day 2, day 3. It doesn't split them up as much as I would have liked, but I think I am able to easily navigate this through the different, say, lightings and compositions and costume. I do have a costume list where I can just look at this and go, right, he's got a blanket on him, wearing a white top, that's clearly the one where he comes home from after his date and his dad's asleep. So I will be able to navigate it, but yeah, I think this is a nice way of splitting it up. Okay, so I have just got all the rushes together. They're all there, side by side. And it comes to 1 hour 20. So it will be a case of just going through, getting rid of the irrelevant ones, getting it shorter. But yeah, gonna be a fun couple of days. I don't really have much order in the way that I'm going about editing. Like, there are some bits where I'm just colour coding, other bits where I want to get into specific bits. But I'm currently on this bit here where the character of Jamie is walking down the stairs, and it cuts into a shot of him picking up shoes. And I've just been trying to line it up so when it looks like he's hitting the floor, like his left foot is hitting the floor, should I say? Is it left foot? Oh no, right foot, sorry. It goes on to this bit where his foot actually does hit the floor. I don't know, I'm just a little something that I personally am finding fun, trying to break up the boring bits to work with fun bits. But this is how it looks on film, which I'm reasonably happy with it. It's not perfect, but I'm just doing that to break up this colour coding which I've been doing for the different scenes. Okay, so I've now finished colour coding it by easily breaky downable sections. That's not a word, I don't care. But from here it makes it really easy to see what's what. Like I can just go through, have a look at this, and I can tell that's the date, and then that's the dialogue on the date, and then that's the very beginning, and that's a follow-up from the beginning. And it's easy for me to see exactly what's what. And from here I think what I'll do now is I'll go through the different sections. I think I'll start at the very beginning, so here, and just work my way through the shots and getting it down to what I want it to be. And another thing that I'm doing is I'm going through the shots. So for this one here, I'm going to get rid of the bit before it actually starts. So for this one, I would start it here and cut that little bit out there. That way, when I go through, I'm able to see exactly what I want to see and nothing irrelevant. I'd go to the end of the shot. So where I say, okay, that's good, I'll go to maybe like the shot before I start to look over, say that one, and just cut that bit out. I think I'm going to do that for all the shots that are potentially useful. So what I've done here is I've made a little timeline for a bit where there are two different shots but they're doing the same line. So if I toggle this on and off, you'll be able to see that it's the same, it would be the same line. And what I've done is I've lined the audio up so it's all together. I think that track there is going to be the main one, but I want to cut it with the bottom one as well, mainly with the visuals. So I'm going through, watching it through a few times and seeing where would be the best thing for each camera angle. And I want to make sure it's giving out the right message that I want it to give out. I just found something I'm really not happy with. This is one of the important dialogue scenes. If I just play it, it's two different shots. I completely neglected continuity and having different angles for the shots. So what I've done is I got another bit of footage from the montage of the date, just to split up. It's not the best, as often it takes away from the moment, but I think that's better than having a jump. And I've found a clip that had the bad audio. We were able to find it when filming, as we had the headphones on. But if you look at this clip here, and we did it again once we realised. So it's not a problem, but I'm happy that we were able to find it on the day. I haven't done a video saying what I'm doing in the past couple of days, so I thought I'd make one now. It's pretty much the same as before. I'm just going through, getting a rough cut of the film, and it's going pretty well. I'm starting to get a better understanding of the stuff that went well and didn't go well in filming, and the film's starting to take shape. So each colour is a different scene in the film. So we got this one here. This is where the character writes his death note, and I need to get the as it's got an ADR of me talking over the top, so I need to do the voiceover still, and I'm currently working on the very, very last scene, which is quite a long one, as it's, when I was researching I realised that to build intensity it has to be really short shots, So we got a lot of that, and it's mainly, at the moment, getting the good ones together and making the cut, which has been pretty much the same as the other ones, but more tedious. And also, Stefan was talking today about what we should be and where we should be with our project. And today should be the last day of filming, which I'm reasonably far ahead of, as I'm I'd say about a third of the way through the editing now. But one thing that he said was that we should have logged our footage, which I did not do. And this was an active decision of mine, as I thought it would be quicker if I went through and I watched them and deleted them. And I could be wrong about this, but I think one of the reasons why you shouldn't why you should log your footage is to keep it clean and organised. But whenever I get a clip that I don't need, I delete it straight away. So I think I've counted that reasonably well, and I haven't come across any problems with not logging my footage. And again, because I'm on the editing with 3 weeks to spare, if I do need to do pickups, I'll be able to identify that through watching the film and do it that way. I have just found my first really major continuity error. This is like one of the most vital things in the whole production. And when the character of Jamie is taking pills, there's the light reflector in the background, and I can't remember if I did a second take for this. So I'm really hoping that... No. I'm scanning through the footage now and there's nothing. So this is a major thing which I definitely will have to reshoot, which is extremely annoying, but again, I'm happy that I've noticed with 3 weeks left to go. I've got the bit of paperwork to book out the equipment over the weekend, so I'll be able to do hopefully all of the pickups. I know what I need to do. I've got 2 big ones so far, so it is just a case of going out and filming them. The one in the kitchen is the big one I need to do. I've still got a little bit more editing to do, so I might be able to find some more pickups, but if not, good. But it's just a little bit annoying that I have to do, like, book out the camera and all that for the whole weekend, just do 2 shots. So, so I might go through it and see if there are any other ones which I can improve slightly. Another continuity error. When I was drinking the pills, I did it with several takes, as they wouldn't go down as they were just filled with air. So in this one take I was holding it with my left hand, and I realised now I was holding it with my right hand in this other take. So for this one here, there is a moment where I change hands, so I could be able to use it from that point on, which I've now cut, and I'm gonna get rid of that. And I don't think it's something that I'll need to refilm, as I still have a shot of me doing it, and it looks fine. But it's just a bit annoying that I wasn't paying more attention to these smaller things. Okay, so the first edit from the first round of filming is essentially done now. I've got all of it together apart from one scene, which is the voiceover ADR scene, which it's shots of the entire thing, like from start to finish. And that's something which I think will be best if I edit after I have the voiceover. So I've left that, but apart from that, all of the scenes are done. what I am going to do for the rest of today, I think, is record the voiceover, which should hopefully only take about 20 minutes, if that. Get that in, maybe edit some of that down, which again I don't think will take long. And then after I've done that, I'm going to make a list of all the pickups, as hopefully I'll be able to film that either tonight or tomorrow night. And once that's done, I think that will be all the filming done, I hope. And then I'll be able to move into the more intricate editing. For the voiceover, whenever I started a new bit, I clapped. So when I come onto Premiere and edit it, I can clearly see where the different bits are. Like a single clap is a redo of the same line or bit of dialogue, so that'll be a redo for that bit. And I clapped loads when it was a new bit, so that bit there, I can tell quite clearly that that's new. And I did what? 1, 2, 3, 4 5 takes for that last bit. And I did that for the whole thing. So it should be quite easy for me to navigate. There was one major pickup that I had to do, and I'll show you what it is real quick. So for that one there, we have the screen in shot, and at the end of it, there's quite a dramatic jump. So what I've done is, I watched it over a few times. I showed the camera operator the clip as well that I wanted to redo, and got a new one. Watching it back, I also think a closer up would have been better, as I think it would show the character's emotions better. And to avoid the jump, I'm making it so he looks at the end of the shot as well. So that will go to the bit where it's looking at the cup. And I did 3 takes of it, so I'm going to go through and cut it down and pick the one that I think would work best. There's this one shot which it comes out a little bit blurry. You can't notice it too much on here, but when you compare it to the second clip, it's a lot clearer. If I just hide that one again. And what I've done is, I don't want to delete the original, the one that's a little bit blurry, because I might end up using it, but I've just put the second bit on top of it, so it won't be seen, but it's still there. And it's just one thing in the date montage sequence. I don't think it will be necessary to have it in, but yeah, I'll watch it a few times without it, and then maybe once with, and I'll make a decision as to whether it's needed in the film, which I don't think it will be. But when I showed one of the lecturers still at the my film, that was one of the things he pointed out, as they were two similar clips but with different focus. So I get the one with the better focus and try it with just that. Oh yeah, another little thing I'm doing is here I've pulled out a bit of the footage, which is actually the same as the first two bits there. And I think I'm going to do it for the entire thing. But I've basically pulled it out, and this is going to be essentially a free edit for me to do whatever I want. As whatever I change, it won't change my actual film. So I'm going to play around with different like lengths of the shots and whatever. See what I can do with it and see if I like it more. I'll be able to watch them both back together. And maybe from there I'd be able to get better changes and things that I like more without destroying the old film. But yeah, this was a recommendation given to me by a lecturer of mine, Stuart. So I've taken his advice. I think it's a good idea. And even if it doesn't work for me, it won't make any permanent difference on my timeline. So yeah, I'm going to play around with it, see which bits I can cut down, maybe lengthen, and go from there. Oh, and another thing that has been a big problem for the end is the sounds. Not because it's a bad quality, but because it is me breathing, and it's in lots of different cuts. So like if we play this bit here. And it's not a big thing, but like the speed at which I'm breathing and the loudness of me breathing varies between shots. So what I've done here, if we look at that little bit there, so I've isolated a couple of single breaths, and if there's a bit where I feel like there needs to be one, I've put it in, and there's probably a good bit here. Yeah, so there's a good bit of silence there. And if I think it should be quiet, I'll put that in. And if not, it could be a case of just turning down the gain on it, the audio gain. But I think I will focus on the audio at a later date, but I want to focus on the visuals for today. Alright, so I'm going through my editing, and for my first edit of the film it was quite rough, and I just wanted to get the clips in and sort of roughly in place. In some parts I didn't massively care about continuity, I was just trying to get it so a film was present. But now I'm going through and I'm making sure all the little bits are matching up. So like if we just play this little sequence before, it's in my first edit, which is on YouTube, and I've linked it in to my FMP website. But if we watch that, still got a lot of work to do. But yeah, I'm just working on making it look better and making the cuts look more seamless. And it's taken a lot of work to get through it and make sure it all looks right, but we are getting there. And yeah, watching it back all the way through, it was the end of the film that I wasn't too happy with. So I'm going to go through it a few times, see what things I can tweak. And I've done the reshoots, so they're already in. And after that, it will just be a case of probably leaving it a couple of days, watching it again and seeing what I don't like, and then improving it that way. Okay, it is 7:30 in the morning on Tuesday, May 7th. And I unofficially said to myself that I wanted to get all the audio like better over the weekend. But in reality, I wasn't working on Saturday or Sunday, and I did a little bit on Monday, like a couple hours maybe. So what I'm trying to do is get all of the audio at least better, and so it matches a little bit more before college at 2:30. So when I can go to college, I can just focus on my Wix page. But I'm doing the same kind of things as before. I actually just did a thing with this audio clip. I'll play it quickly. This is one that I've already worked on, but I just went to effects, reverb, and one of the biggest things that I did was take a lot of the dry out, and then I just played around with these until I got something that sounded a bit like a room. Like, there were a few presets, but maybe room ambience, but just because it was just a single noise, I thought it would be better if I did it myself. But I'm happy with that. It sounds a lot better than it did before. Might turn the gain down a little bit, play around with it. But between yesterday and today, I'm about, I'd say, 2/3 through just going through the film. So I'll get that done before college. There's this one shot which I think needed quite bad colour correction. As if I'll show you this one. And these are the shots around it. And it, in my opinion, all the other ones are quite cold, whereas this one's a lot warmer. So what I've done is I've got the three-way colour corrector up, exaggerated the blues a bit, and down here I made it so it's a little bit darker. If we turn that on, it's a lot better than it was. It looks a lot colder and a lot darker, and I think it fits better. And yeah, I learned how to colour correct in one of the workshops last term, so I'm happy that I went to that and it's paid off quite well. For the dream sequence, the first bit, I put in a bit of background noise. If I put the volume on full and play it for you.
George, Sam, do you want to stay for dinner? Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
And what I basically did was I went on GarageBand, and I don't even know what note it was. I didn't look. I went through the notes and I thought which one would sound best in a dream sequence. And I just held it down with the sustain pedal on, and that was my note. When I went on to Premiere Pro, I don't know if this was the most efficient way of doing it, but I had 4 of the same thing. And what I ended up doing was I ended up having 2 normal, and then I reversed the other 2, so it was like going backwards kind of thing. And I thought this was quite good, as if you look at when he goes into it, it gets louder and then fades down, and when the dream ends,
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
it's sort of as if it's building up to something, which is the bad part, which has no music.
You fucking faggot!
And it's something that I like. I think it's better with the sound, and yeah, overall I'm happy with that.